it says that the graph of the linear function over here is shown on the coordinate grid. That's going to be our original equation that we're going to be using to answer a few questions. So the first thing that we have to do is come up with the equation for that line. So the first thing I need is my B, the part that goes on the end. That's where it starts, right? Where does this one start at? Right. Starts up here at +6. So I can put a 6 in that blank. All right, and then to find my slope or my rate of change, I just need to count how far it is from one point to the next on the line. And we always rise and then run, right? So if I'm right here at this point, how many do I have to go up? 3. 3. And how many over? 1. So I have to go up 3 and over 1. And is this in the positive or negative direction? Negative. So -3 over 1. Or I could also write that as just -3. Good. All right, so this is the equation of our original line that we're going to use to answer these next few questions. Okay, so the first one says if the y-intercept is changed to the coordinate point 0, -3, what would be the equation of the new lines? Well, they already wrote the original down for us, so we just need to make this change. If it's changing the y-intercept, is that going to change my slope at all? No. So this part is going to stay the same. I keep that, -3x. But now what's my plus b going to be? Very good. All right, so slope did not change, just the y-intercept. So if I come down here and graph it, it now starts down here at -3. And my slope tells me to go up 1 and over 1, but in the negative direction. Okay, so here is the new line. What they drew was the original, what we just drew is the new. And now we're going to answer a few questions comparing these two lines. Okay, so the first thing that they ask is if these lines are parallel. Yes, they're never going to intersect. We know they're parallel because their slope was the same. Okay, then it asks, did the line shift up or down, and how many units? So was the new one up or down? Down, right? This one started here, now it starts down here. So it got shifted down. Okay, so it shifted down. If I was originally here and now I'm here, how many spaces down did I move? 9. Good. So I shifted down 9 units. Okay, then it asks about the x-intercept. So that is the line that runs horizontally this way. So the x-intercept was right here, and where is that point? +2. And now my x-intercept is right here, which is at, very good. Okay, so if I started at 2, and now I'm at -1, did I increase or decrease?
Decrease.
Good. Alright. And then it says, is the new line above or below the original? Good. Below. And is the new or the original line steeper?
They're the same.
They're the same. Very good. Same slope. So neither, because they are the same. Okay. Okay. On number 2. Again, they already wrote down the original for us, but they say if the slope is changed to -1/4, what would be the new equation? So instead of -3, it now tells me to change my slope to -1/4. So I have -1/4 x. Did it say anything about changing the y-intercept?
No.
So I still have +6, right? Okay, so it still is starting at that positive 6, but now instead of going up 3 over 1, I'm going up 1 and over 4. So when they drew is the original, ours is the new. Okay, so now let's answer the questions about this graph. Are these lines parallel? Are they perpendicular?
Yes.
What makes them perpendicular? What did we say at the beginning? So Elijah asked if 2 and negative 2 were perpendicular, and they weren't, right? The slopes have to be the exact opposites. Okay, so our slope here was negative 3 or negative 3 over 1 and negative 1 over 4. Are those exact opposites of each other? Well, this one has a 3 and that one has a 4. The opposite of this would be positive 1 over 3.
Oh, you're saying opposite is that, like that. I think you're saying like opposite is
Like flipped over?
yeah.
So for them to be perpendicular, they have to be flipped and change the sign. And that didn't happen here because it's still negative and it has a 4 instead of a 3. Okay? So they're not perpendicular either. And then it asks where these lines intersect. So what was the coordinate?
6.
Very good. They intersect at the y-intercept. So that's what I'm going to put on this line. And then it asked if the x-intercept increased or decreased. Well, we can't even see where it's touching the x-axis, but we know it should be somewhere over here, right? This is going this way. Very good. And which one's steeper, new or original? Very good. Original, because the new is a fraction while the original isn't.
You said it was new.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh, sorry about that.
So it is original?
Yeah, the original is
Can I go back up?
yeah. Right there. All right. Okay, so let's flip it over on the back. Okay, number 3 asks what would happen if the slope is doubled. Well, my current slope is negative 3. If I'm doubling it, what am I multiplying it by?
2.
Good. Which would give me,
Negative 6.
so my new slope is negative 6. And it says we are decreasing the y-intercept by 4. So would decreasing mean I'm adding 2 or taking away?
Taking away.
So it was 6. I take away 4.
2.
New y-intercept is 2. So I start at 2. And my slope tells me to go up 6 and over 1. Alright, so here are my lines. It asks if they are parallel. No, right? They touch. Do they intersect? Not in the picture, but eventually they will, right? Because they keep getting closer and closer towards the top. Okay? Alright, then it asks, did the x-intercept increase or decrease? Okay, so here's where it was. Here's where it is now.
Decrease.
Decrease. It moved to the left. Okay? It then says the new line is blank units above or below the original. Below, and yes, good, by 4. Okay. And is the new equation steeper or less steep? Yeah, sorry. I didn't say it exactly like it was worded. All right, and then the original line is very good. Okay. All right, number 4 says the line is translated 7 units down. So is that going to change the slope or the intercept? All right, the y-intercept. So no changes to the slope on this one. If I move 7 places down from 6, where am I? -1. Good. So I start at -1, going up 3 and over 1 in that negative direction. Okay, so then it asks, are these lines parallel? Yes. They are parallel. They have the same slope. Is the new line above or below? Good. Is the x-intercept increasing or decreasing for the new line? Good. Because it was here, and now it's here, so that's a smaller number. Okay. The new line is blank units above or below? 7 below, right? Because it said to move down 7. So 7 below. Okay, and then the new or the original line is steeper? Good. Which means it says the new or the original line begins below the origin. Which one begins below the origin? The new. Very good. Yeah. Well, neither one is steeper because they're the same. So they mean the same thing. Okay. Number 5 says if the y-intercept of y equals -3x plus 6 is changed to the coordinate point 0, 5, and the slope becomes -2, which statement best describes the relationship between these two lines when they are graphed on the same coordinate grid? Okay, so they gave us the old. Now I'm going to write the equation for the new. So what's my new slope? -+5. Okay. So the first answer choice says that the lines are parallel. Is that true?
Yes. No. Actually, it is. Because they intersect.
So right, parallel lines never intersect, so they can't be parallel. Okay. Perpendicular. Are these slopes the exact opposites of each other? So it can't be that. The lines intersect at the coordinate point 1, -1. That would be there. The lines intersect at 1, 3. All right, last one. It says, which statement describes the slope if we had the line -3x plus 6 and it is shifted so that the y-intercept is now at +1 and the x-intercept remains the same? Okay, so it now starts at 0, 1, which would be right here. But this point on the line didn't change. So that means I must have a new slope, right? Because it only goes down and over one spot and over 2 to get to the new place, right? So let's continue drawing out the line so we can see what it would look like. So down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. and that x-intercept, obviously the slope had to have changed, right? Or that would be a funny looking line. So we would have, for our new equation, what's my new slope? We had to go down and over how much?
Up 1, rise 3. No, rise 1, rise 3.
Not 3, 2. And it was in the negative direction, right? Okay. And where was my new y-intercept at? 1. Very good. Okay. So it said the slope changed from a positive to a negative. Did that happen? No, our slope is still negative. Okay. Then it says the slope remains constant. Did the slope remain the same? The slope became steeper. No, it became less steep. Okay. So y'all do math.